All right, well, we got, I think, 2 more comedians for you guys tonight. 2 more comedians. Your next comedian, very funny guy. Hey, what's up? Stop waving at me. I fucking know you're next. Your next comedian's waving at me. He hosts the Cabbage Patch on Friday nights. Give it up for Jason Spitsbergen.
Hello. Hi. Marcus, earlier you talked about weed whacking, which I love that phrase. I've got a similar one where if I wake up and then smoke weed and then jerk off, it's my wake, bake, and snake shake. I recently realized one of the reasons that I love masturbation so much, it's because it's the only thing in my life that I've ever finished. I'm really proud of that. So I'm really happy to be here tonight. Although I am on drugs, so that might be part of it. I don't know, but I love drugs, though. I do. Actually, if I'm being more honest, I love drug. Like, I smoke a lot of weed. That's really about it. I never really got into any of the harder drugs. Like I've never done coke or acid or anything like that. And now people say that marijuana is a gateway drug, but I've been smoking weed for years and I haven't gatewayed into shit. I feel a little left out there, I do. But they do, they call marijuana a gateway drug, and really it's just because, like most hard drug users, somewhere along their lives they smoke some weed. But take that same logic and think about this. Don't you think that somewhere along his life, Jeffrey Dahmer ate some chicken? Yeah, I think you see where I'm going with this. Just be careful, because eating chicken is a gateway to cannibalism. I really like the taste of chicken. It just doesn't give me the same rush that human flesh does. No, but like I said, though, I love weed. I do. One of the really big things that I love about weed is the fact that it gets me high, I guess, is probably the number one thing. But one of the other things I love about it is the way that it brings people together. You know, it forges friendships. Like let's face it, the older you get, the harder it is to make new friends. Like, it can just get a little weird and awkward trying to take that next step. You know, like you meet somebody and you're just like, hey, person I just met, you seem pretty cool. We should totally get together and hang out sometime. Like, what, are we in the 5th grade? Should we make friendship bracelets? You wanna schedule a fucking play date? What? Oh yeah, sorry, that was weird and awkward. I don't know what I was thinking. But you find out that person smokes weed, and it's totally natural to just be like, hey, person I just met, I smoke weed too. We should totally get together and smoke a joint sometime. Boom, friendship forged. Right there. It's amazing. Of course, sometimes though, you do run into the issue where you start hanging out with that person and you quickly come to realize that they're just fucking insufferable. But you keep hanging out with them because they have weed. You know, every stoner's had that friend a few times in their life. I know I have. But lately, though, I've got my weed card. So like, I don't need friends like that, because buying weed, it's never been easier. It's basically like buying a gallon of milk now. Like, honey, I'll be right back. I just need to run to the store to grab an ounce of Maui Wowie. Like, I've even got an app on my phone that'll tell me where the closest dispensary is to my current location. Yeah, so it's like Tinder if I want to get high. So I see ads for it, like, hot cannabis in your area. Get stoned tonight. It's great. So like most stoners, I'm really passionate about music. Like, I love music. And I read a lot of books and articles about the history of rock and roll. Like, I find that stuff so fascinating. And recently I came across an article. It was an interview with a woman who was a groupie back in the 1960s. And one day in 1967, she was hanging out with Keith Richards. And she asked Keith to murder somebody. I thought that was crazy. She asked Keith Richards to murder David Crosby and Roger McGuinn. And in the interview, they asked her, like, well, why would you want him to do something like that? And she just said, well, I was hoping to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, I'm worried you might not come with me on that. Let me explain. You see, Keith Richards was in a band called the Rolling Stones, commonly referred to as the Stones. David Crosby and Roger McGuinn were in a band called the Byrds, commonly referred to as the Byrds. To kill two birds with one stone is a common colloquialism. It means to achieve two goals with one action. So Keith Richards killing these two guys would be one stone killing two birds, and then you cue the laughter. There we go, all right. All right, that's my set for tonight. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. Keep it going for Marcus, who is awesome. Thank you so much.